MCQ 37, we'll take a look at inheritance. So looking out for words like heterozygous and homozygous is quite critical because we'll need them to craft out our genetic diagram if ratio is actually required for the question. So we have a plant that's heterozygous for a specific feature. So I'm just going to label them using a capital H for the dominant allele and a small letter h for the recessive allele. It was crossed with a homozygous dominant plant. So the word dominance would have meant that both of the letters we're going to use is a capital H. And since the mention is homozygous dominant, so actually just one copy of the dominant allele is required to give rise towards a dominant feature over here. So the same heterozygous plant is then crossed with another plant. This time around, this plant is homozygous recessive. So we're looking for two small copies of the recessive allele. And now we're going to take a look at the ratio of the offspring genotype resulting from these two crosses. So for the first cross, we're going to draw just a simple Punnett square. So for the first cross here, we're looking at filling in using the heterozygous individual, circling out the gametes, as well as a homozygous dominant individual, circling out the gametes. We'll be getting homozygous dominant, homozygous dominant, heterozygous dominant, and heterozygous dominant. Now for the second cross, another Punnett square diagram. And heterozygous, as well as homozygous recessive. We'll be obtaining heterozygous, homozygous recessive, heterozygous, and homozygous recessive. So looking at the homozygous dominant count here, which I'll just highlight out in yellow, which is double big H, we have two double big H individual. Looking at the heterozygous in green color, which is one big H and one small h, hetero, 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 and hetero itself, we have a total of 4 units of heterozygous. So we're just going to put down number 4 over here. First, we might not have the relevant number because this is not the simplest ratio. It depends on the rest of them. And the last one here in red color for homozygous recessive, we're looking for double small h. We have 2 of this individual over here. So homozygous dominant have a total of 2, 4 for heterozygous and 2 for homozygous recessive. If we plant it towards the simplest ratio, then it's going to be in that of 1:2:1. 1:2:1. In the simplest ratio, the answer is B.